What is the best manifesting technique? Abraham Hicks, William Bengston's image cycling? Stick around because we are going to find out in this video. Hey, what's up guys? It's Julie from Julie Holmes Life Coaching. Thank you so much for being here today. If you're new to this channel, please click the subscribe button below and we will get started. In this video, I really want to go deeper on the topic of manifesting. And the reason is because I did a video on the topic on William Bengston's image cycling techniques, which he talks about in his book, Hands-on Healing and Both the Energy Cure. And he actually teaches this technique, but it is a part of a technique that is used to cure cancer. So I recently had the privilege to interview William, and because I had been getting some questions on the topic, I thought that it would be interesting, now that I've had a chance to really talk with him one-on-one, to go deeper on the topic. Okay, also as a disclaimer, this isn't something I usually discuss with my clients because it's sort of irrelevant unless it's relevant to them. But it is a topic that interests me, and so I want to talk about it. So a few years ago, I had a very dear friend of mine try to tell me about Abraham Hicks. And if you don't know who Abraham Hicks is, she is a woman by the name of Esther Hicks, and she channels consciousness in order to teach people about the law of attraction. Now, when I first heard about Abraham, which Abraham is actually the name of the consciousness that she channels, I was like, no, I can't do it. It's too woo-woo for me. And for me, that says a lot because I'm somebody who's extremely open-minded. So I just shut it down completely, and I was like, I can't do this. And then a couple of years after that, I had a client who was really into this Abraham woman, and I was watching how he was setting intentions and doing all these things, and all this stuff was like magically happening in his life because of the works of this woman. And I thought, okay, maybe there's something to this, and maybe I should reconsider considering it. I started watching some of Abraham's videos, and there's a million of them on YouTube, and it actually made a lot of sense. And so I have applied both Abraham's teachings and the teachings of William Bengston's cycling technique method to my life, and I want to just make a little comparison about both and help you understand if either of these techniques are right for you or if one is better than the other. So one of the commonalities that I have found in both techniques is that if you want to manifest something, you really have to get out of your own way. So Abraham really teaches the law of attraction, and one of the metaphors that she uses is she talks about every subject is two subjects, and it's like a stick. There are two ends of the stick. There's the having and the not having. There's the manifestation and the lack thereof. So depending on which end of the stick you're closer to is what you're going to get more of. If you have an intention to manifest something, you know what the feeling is that it's going to bring you, and you're able to focus in on other things in your life that will bring that feeling forward, you're going to get the manifestation. But if you're in the process of doing that and you're like, why hasn't it come yet? You're on this end of the stick. And guess what? That's what you're going to get more of. which is the not having. So with her technique, you really have to ask yourself, whatever it is you want, you have to be very clear about why you want it. And when you're clear about why you want it, you can ask yourself, how is it going to make me feel when I have it? And once you are able to identify how you're going to feel once the manifestation has occurred, you've got to do everything in your power to create that feeling now. And only when you're able to create that feeling now are you in alignment with the actual manifestation. So it's like radio frequencies. If you want to go to one radio station, but you're dialed in at something else, you're not going to be able to hear what's playing on the other channel. So your frequencies have to match up with what you want, and the way that you do that is to know exactly how you're going to feel when the manifestation occurs and generate that feeling in yourself now. So for a lot of people, that's really hard because life happens and things get in our way, and we can go from a good mood to a bad mood like this. And so unless you've really trained yourself to focus on everything that's great in your life or everything that feels good in your life, it's going to be much more difficult to manifest. Now let's compare this to William's method. So William's method is, off the bat, let me tell you that I have studied this technique. I have spent hours, weeks, months at a time mastering this technique, and it is hard. It's very hard. He will admit it. People get frustrated. I'm sure I almost cried or did cry a few times when I was trying to learn this technique. However, if you are able to master the cycling technique, and I'm not going to go over the exact technique now because I have done it in the other video, but once you've mastered it, it's sort of a subconscious thing that is just happening in your brain. And he teaches you to sort of think about something else while you're doing the cycling technique. So it becomes so inherent that he tells you to like have a political debate or listen to, rock music or something that is just completely opposite of what you would expect when you're trying to manifest something you desire. And the reason is, and this is a comparison that he and Abraham both sort of talk about, is get out of your own way. And if you're not able to think about what you want with the Abraham method without noticing the lack of it, without generating the desire, if you believe you have to have the manifestation before you can have the emotion that it's going to bring, that's not the technique for you. If you feel like you're not able to do that, then I highly recommend you just put in the work and learn William's image cycling technique, because you get off the subject. It becomes so subconscious that you get off the subject, and I have practiced both. Both have worked for me, depending on where I'm at emotionally. Let's say maybe Abraham's was better, or if I wasn't in the best feeling place, William's method was better. I think they both work. I think they're both extremely powerful manifesting techniques, but it's really whatever is right for you. I highly recommend learning both and have extra tools in your pocket. So Abraham also really puts an emphasis on efforting which is something you don't want to do. She uses the metaphor of getting in a boat in a river and then trying to paddle upstream, which is what most people, I think, are trained to think that they need to do in order to make things happen in their life. But what she teaches is that you take action. You don't just sit around and wait for everything to come to you. You take action, but you take inspired action. And what that means is you meditate, you get into the practice of meditating, which means you clear your mind. And when you're able to clear your mind, that's when you get inspired. That's when you have those thoughts that are like, oh, I need to do that. I need to take action now. And that's inspired action, and that's the type of action that you want to take, as opposed to, oh, I should do this, I need to do that, which she does not encourage at all. And William's technique really just takes all of the thinking out of it, because you learn the technique, you practice the technique, you don't have to worry about whether it's coming or whether it's not coming, because you're so focused on doing the technique that there really is no room for the emphasis on lack. That's basically my comparison to the Abraham technique and the William Bengston image cycling technique. So if you are interested in watching the William Bengston interview that we just did, it is going to be on my other channel. It is called The Unexplained Truths. It is in the featured channels section on this channel. So you can go to that channel, click the subscribe button, click the little bell, and you will be notified as soon as that interview is uploaded. So thank you so much for being here today, and I really hope I was able to shed some light on manifesting for you, and I highly encourage you to just go into the YouTube search, and if you don't know Abraham Hicks already, listen to some of her stuff. It's pretty fascinating. And if you don't know William Bengston's technique, read his book, Hands-On Healing. It's also, actually, there's an audio book that basically teaches you the entire technique, and it's a training tool. So if you want to learn that, I highly recommend you do so. And thanks again for watching. And if you liked this video, please click the like button below. Share it with a friend who really needs to learn how to manifest. And I will see you in the next video.